What's up, everybody? I'm Rick,
And I'm Anna.
and welcome to our review of Supernatural, the animation.
Oh, dun, dun, dun. Come have fun with us, and don't forget to subscribe.
Hello,
Konnichiwa. He's Jared Padalecki.
and he is Jensen Ackles, and we play Sam and Dean Winchester in the live-action Supernatural TV series.
And we're really stoked to have our characters animated for the very first time.
Definitely. I wonder who'll be better looking.
I think that's obvious.
Maybe not, but at least we know who will be taller.
Actually, it's amazing what they can do in animation.
For those of you who don't know, this is our bucket list channel, a channel in which we try to realize the goals and dreams that are on our bucket list. And one of those goals is for us to finish 101 anime. That's a lot of anime, Anna.
A lot.
And on that list of 101 anime was Supernatural, the animation. This 22 episode anime aired from February 23rd to April 27, 2011, and tells the story of Sam and Dean Winchesters, two brothers who hunt supernatural beings. While driving around the country, saving people from shapeshifters, werewolves, vampires, ghosts, and even demons, the Winchesters also search for their dad, as well as for the creature responsible for the death of both their moms and Sam's girlfriend. Produced by Japanese animation studio Madhouse, this anime is an adaptation of the American live-action show Supernatural. While the storyline covers the first two seasons of the live-action series, it also includes original content exploring the Winchesters' childhood and expanding upon secondary characters. So, Anna, what did you think of Supernatural, the animation?
First off, I want to say I don't think you could enjoy this anime if you haven't watched the show, or if you more generally don't know the whole story.
Let me go one step further. I don't think you can follow this anime
Yes, true.
without having seen the show or knowing the story.
This anime is obviously made for the fans of the show, you know? Like, I feel like it doesn't really make that much sense by itself.
It's a bit jumbled, you know? It's
Yeah.
a bit like a...
It skips elements, it rushes into things way too much.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it's difficult to like compress 2 seasons of a live action show into a 22 episodes anime, you know?
Definitely.
Like, first off, the anime episodes are much shorter than
One episode
one
of the
episode,
show.
yes.
And then
And
22
you have-
episodes is the length of one season of
Exactly,
the show. Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, there's a lot of things to like compress, to skip around, to everything. So yeah, but luckily we have watched the show.
We
and
did.
we do know the story.
And we do know the story, so are we satisfied with this? You said this was for Supernatural. Would you consider yourself a Supernatural fan to begin with?
You know what? I would, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I would.
Because that's part of another one of our goals for this bucket list.
I'm not a
We're watching the show.
Exactly. I'm not a super fan, like, you know, looking into things, developing theories, this kind of stuff. But I am enough of a fan to actually like be very interested in the story and follow up on it, and you know, wanting to see where it goes, where it leads. So I was very happy to watch this anime.
You were very happy to watch. Were you happy that you have watched
Yes.
this anime? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't feel the same way?
I mean, this anime is not bad. I think that it is also not necessary.
Yeah, obviously.
And of course, you know, in the grand scheme of things, what is necessary and entertainment and all of this, but like, it is an anime that doesn't make sense unless you're a fan of the show. And also, it is an anime that I don't think elevates the show in any way.
Right, it doesn't bring anything new.
Anything new.
Right.
A lot of the episodes that we've watched are just remake of an episode of the show, but in anime form, so more
Compressed,
Yeah.
and you know, skipping elements
exactly
here and there.
of some of those storylines that we thought like were really interesting in the show. You know, what's happening with these psychic kids. You know, all of that is just rushed.
Right.
And so if you're a fan of the show, you might be left with a sense that, oh man, they played around with
I
it a
would
bit
have
too
liked
much.
to see it more,
Yeah. And if you're not a fan of the show, then there's no reason really for you to be watching this in the first place.
Yeah.
And that's why I say it's not really a necessary anime.
I
We
see what
watched
you
it
mean.
because we were curious. You know, we've been watching Supernatural. You know,
I
like,
see
oh,
what you mean, totally. But I have to say, you know, in its defense, I really liked the atmosphere. I like how they made the characters that while we still have Sam and Dean with their same general issues, they do have a more anime-esque,
Yeah,
personality.
yeah, definitely.
And
So
I like seeing that, it's fun.
we did watch the Japanese version
Yes.
with English subtitles. And there's something interesting about the two versions, the English and the Japanese one. So the Japanese version, both voice actors who voices Sam and Dean and the dub of the live action show in Japan
Okay.
reprise their role here. So it's the same voices.
Oh, I see.
And the English version, only Jared Padalecki voices Sam throughout the whole show, the whole anime. And Jensen Ackles only voices Dean for the last 2 episodes.
I see.
All Hell Break Loose, part 1 and 2. Which I think if we had watched it in English, it might have been weird. I don't know how close the voices are. But
Yeah, it's always kind of strange when they change voice actors. The Japanese voice actors, though, I feel, are doing a great job.
Yeah.
Those voices feel like 70.
Like 70.
You know what I mean?
I also wanted to touch, while we're talking about the production, on the animation. Madhouse, usually known for their great animation. Here, I think it looks great.
Yes.
I do feel like they overused the kind of sunset grading. You see what I mean?
I
Like,
see what you mean, yes.
a lot of the scene, it looks like the sun is about to set or rise,
Yeah.
throughout the day. I feel like it's a bit overused.
But I like it. I mean, I like those colors, though.
Yeah.
It's true that it doesn't really serve like a purpose in the story if you have that all day long. But in general, I like those kind of effects,
Yeah.
And it does bring in that feeling of mystery. I really like the animation as a whole. I was pretty happy with it. Especially there were some episodes in which we get some like really interesting effects, like bursts of light and stuff like this. I feel like those look so beautiful.
And you know what? Let me retract myself. We were saying the anime doesn't really bring anything new. It brings one thing that I felt was kind of cool, which the show can't really do because of budget constraint. With a live action, it would be harder to. It's just the effects.
Yeah.
It's more gory. You see Sam using his powers. It's more spectacular when he does so. A lot of things like that, just the supernatural stuff, they have the latitude to play around with more because it's animation. If they want to make the shapeshifter looks disgusting as he transforms, they can do it without busting the budget. If they want to show Sam,
being a psychic.
Yeah, exactly. They can do it in a more impressive way. Even the character of the military psychic kid, they show up his strength in a much
more fleshed out.
Impressive ways. When he does it, you're like, oh wow, this guy.
He lifts a tank.
Yeah.
And whatnot. So yeah, that's true. That's very impressive.
Though I feel like one episode goes a bit too far into that and goes full anime by making a bunch of cars
into like
fused
a robot
together into a giant robot.
Yeah. I mean, that was so anime. Like, so, and not even just anime in general, like mecha type of anime, But it was, I don't know, it was fun to watch
It's cool.
overall. So.
Which, I guess, this is what you watch this for. This is one of the main reasons we watch this is, I wonder how they're doing it,
Right.
When they take a American show, American property and adapt it into a Japanese anime, I wonder what it looks like. And so, if only for that, it's worth a watch.
Yeah, I think so too. They really downplayed the bad blood between the brothers, so to say.
Yeah, they argue a little bit here, but way less than...
I mean, they argue and they're most of the times not on the same page, but at the same time, it is not as violent and, I don't know, as like brutal as we see it in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the show sometimes you wonder, why are you guys still staying together? Huh? But,
or like, why are you angry with each other for this thing? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
But in the anime, you don't get that feeling.
Yeah, I guess because it is truncated, you have
probably.
to make those kind of choices. One thing that they didn't have to change, and they did, and I'm not sure I like that they
I know
changed,
what you want to say.
is Bobby.
Bobby, oh my goodness, what did it... That's not the same character.
That is not Bobby.
Like, first of all, Bobby is such a tragic character from the time he's introduced. Everything, his life, his personality, the way he interacts with people, the way he interacts with the brothers for most of the time, he's such a tragic character. This Bobby in the anime, he's so jolly.
He's more of a comic
He's a
relief.
jolly little
Yeah.
guy around who has a helicopter, by the way.
Oh yeah, the helicopter scene.
The helicopter, seriously. Wow. I like the helicopter though. I would have liked Bobby to have a helicopter. In the show, I mean, in the live action show.
But all in all, you know, it was an interesting watch. Would you recommend this anime to either, let's do it in two parts. So, would you recommend this anime to fans of Supernatural?
You know what? I would. Especially if you like anime in general, I think you would absolutely love it. I loved it. You know, like you said, it doesn't bring anything, it doesn't change anything. It's just a compressed version of the story. It's so much fun to watch. It's so much fun to watch, you know.
Yeah,
So,
if you're a fan of Supernatural, you're gonna enjoy the
Yeah.
ride, you know, if just to compare stuff, to see what take the Japanese have on these characters. It's a fun thing to watch. So yeah, if you're a fan of Supernatural, I'd definitely recommend it. Now, second part, would you recommend this to just regular
No.
people
I feel
out
like
there?
if you haven't watched the show, you won't understand it. It won't have an impact in any way, shape, or form. Yes, the animation is good. It looks really nice, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think that they skip around way too much for it to be coherent enough. Like, you can still get a true line of the story by just watching the anime, but you lose so much, you know? And a lot of time it feels like they jumped from something to something totally unrelated,
Yeah.
and you don't get the in-betweens. So, if you haven't seen the original show, it's way harder to recommend, definitely.
Also, I have to say, if you only watch the anime, you get no character development, which I feel is a pretty big part of the show. It's a big part of anything, like any
big show, yeah.
big show that you
serialized,
watch. Yes,
yeah.
it's about the character. That's why you watch it. You want to see how the character's life changes and evolves, and how his personality changes, and you don't get any of that here
Yeah.
in the anime.
And also just because the anime ends where the second season would end and then doesn't continue.
Right.
And so I would never tell someone who's never watched Supernatural, watch the anime and then watch from season 3, because then you
No.
lost so much.
No, you wouldn't get it.
And then if you only watch the anime, you never get a follow-up to the story. So
Yeah.
it is now time for us to rank this anime. So and I said at the beginning of this video that this is part of our bucket list goal to finish 101 anime. Every time we finish an anime, we will be ranking it in our mega list of 101 anime.
Yeah.
So from number 1 to number 101. And this is the first time we're doing the ranking on video, so we're going to be revealing what the first two entries are. It's at number 1, Erased, and at number 2, Bakano, two anime that we've already finished for this goal. This is only the third one we've finished.
Right, because the other ones are so long.
Yeah. So we're still watching Naruto, we're still watching My Hero, etc., etc. And so it is time for us to rank this one too, because we finished it. Where would you put it? At number 3, so below Erased and Bakano.
Yes.
Yes, I agree with you. I think the other two, they can be watched without any prior
They are
knowledge of
their
it.
own stories.
Exactly.
So.
In terms of originality too, Erased and Bakano.
I feel like they're more like compelling stories,
Yeah.
both of them, compared to this anime.
But they're original stories, even though this anime does bring up some elements that were not in the show. We said at the beginning the brother's childhood and some of the other characters, and introduce even some Japanese monsters that were not in the show. By and large, it is rehashed of storylines from the show.
Yes.
And so the originality element is kind of not really there compared to the other two entries here.
So yeah, that is it.
So yeah, that's it. It's at number 3. So the list as of right now is number 3, Supernatural the animation, number 2, Bakano, and number 1, Erased. That was it for our review of Supernatural the animation. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Comment in the comment section below. Have you ever seen Supernatural the animation? And if so, what did you think of it?
Or do the show.
Yeah, like this video if you did, and go check out some of our other videos. This is not just a channel about anime, this is a bucket list channel, so we have a lot of different type of videos about movies, travel, self-growth, etc. Go check them out, and don't forget that if you yourself have a goal or a dream that you'd like to realize, take that first step.